What's the next rule? WOW-WUN is 6 when counting lean. Say is 6 when counting lean. I don't necessarily like writing numbers like this. Supposed to write them out, but for time's sake. And jahrun, rikhwun, on the scene. Their brothers, fathu, istifal, and samtun, holding all them down. Okay, let's go through this right here. Now, we know that when we study a letter, we learn a few things about the letter. The first thing that we learn about that letter is, or the first thing we learned tonight was the makhraj, right? So we learned the makhraj of a letter. We also learned the sifat of a letter, right? And the sifat is the description of the letter. We also learned the number of the letter, the numeric number, the numeral of a letter, right? We also learned what? What else do we learn about the letter? Tajweed rule. Hey, what's heavy? We also learn the tajweed rule, right? And sometimes we learn some words to help us pronounce that. Words in English that have the same makhraj and way of pronouncing, so we can do that in English. Here, we learned that also. We have the tajweed rule and we have the makhraj. Now let's see what else we can get from here. The sifat and the numeric value. WOW-WUN is 6. Everybody say that. We know that the numeric value for wow is what? 6. We can, if we didn't know it, we can just easily go down the list of the letters. We can just write, what can we write on the board? Not everybody forget this stuff. Is there a letter in the Arabic called It's Say So abjad. So then we write down ba. What's the next letter? Jim. Not ta. Alif, ba, jim, del, ha, waw, zay. Right? Abjad hawaz. Right? Everybody say that. Abjad hawaz. Abjad hawaz. So all after writing that down, we write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on each one of them, so alif is 1, ba is 2, jim is 3, del is 4, ha is 5, waw is 6, zay is 7. Easy. If you forgot, you can just easily write it down. And so we're at abjad hawaz. Abjad is the first king. Hawaz is the second king. How many kings were there? 6 kings. Abu Jad, Hawaz, Hati or Huttiya, Kaliman or Kalmun, Sa'fas, Kurishat, Thaqid, Dadig. Thaqid, Dadig are not kings. Okay? Those were the remaining letters that they put together so they can complete the alphabet. The first 6 were kings. All right? So Abjad, Hawaz, wow is 6. So he said, WOW-WUN is 6 when counting lean. He's playing a game with words. Lean, everybody say those words when I say them. Lean, jahrun, rikhwun, fathun, istifal, and samtun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's letting you know when he says when counting lean, he's playing a game. Sometimes lean is not one of the sifat of wow. Okay? Sometimes lean is something that you will learn again in tajweed. A lot of the letters, the specifics about the language, you will learn those things in tajweed. After this, inshallah, we could do a class on tajweed to understand all these terminologies and how they apply to. It's like saying ow. That's what that tajweed of lean is, stretching that letter from the word min khawf and those things like that. So that's lean. Jahrun, everybody say jahrun. What does jahrun mean? Loud. Okay? What does rikhwun mean? Rikhwun is weak. Okay? There are books that you can read while you're studying this course that will help you out tremendously. One of them is the book of Tajweed by, I think it's Muhammad. Very good book in English, and it talks about the sifat. Tajweed book on, I'll try to get the actual name of the book. It's an excellent book written in English about Tajweed, and it helps you understand the sifat really well. If you read it during the course of this class, doing the basic alphabet, it would help you out tremendously. Or Easy Tajweed, it's a blue book. That's another good book that's very good in helping understand the Tajweed while you're taking a personal course. Okay, it's not really that good reading. A lot of these books are not written for you to be read by yourself. They're written to be read as coursework, helping you through courses like this one right here, inshallah. So it says, rikhwun is weakness. Fethun, everybody say fethun. What is fethun? Opening your mouth how? Doorway. Like a doorway, up and down. And istifal is what? To lower your tongue. What is samtun? Restraint. So now how does that come together in pronouncing the word wow? Say wah. Where's your tongue? No. Say wah. Now be conscious of all of these. Istifal means to keep your tongue flat in your mouth. Say wah. Where's your tongue? No. Fethun is to open your mouth as a doorway, up and down. Say wah. Don't say wah. You see that? Wah. Now say wah. You see how you round off your mouth when you say wah? That is incorrect. How do you open your mouth? Say wah. So that's it. Jahrun is to enunciate the sound in a loud way, while at the same time samtun is to show restraint. What does that mean? Holding the air in your nose. So say wah. And hold the air in your nose. Say wah. Say woo. Say we. Now don't show any stuff and let the air flow. Wah. That's incorrect. You see what happens when you don't show any samt? Samt is to control it, to hold it. Say woo. No samt. Now say woo. You hear? You feel that control you have over it? Say we. Just like you say we. We the people. Power to we. Right? Say we. Same word. We. You hold that air in. Say wah. We. Woo. Same thing. That's holding that jahrun is enunciating it in a loud, pushing the air out, but at the same time holding. That's why it says, and samtum, holding all them down. Samtum is what? Holding, restraining. Okay? So it's alluding to that point, trying to point that out to you. Okay? And that rikhwun is a weakness because wow is not a letter that you can so much control. It's not like ba, ib. You said ij. Say it. Ij. Ib. You see, you can, those things have a lot more power, right? But rikhwun, ow, it just goes. Once you say it, you can't stop it. Say ow. You can't stop it. It goes. You understand my point? And that's what this is right here. This is explaining to you how to pronounce that particular letter, wow. Do I have any questions at this moment? If there are no questions for me, what you need to do is memorize this poem. Think about and practice how to say this particular letter utilizing these sifat. Remembering to open your mouth, fethun. Remembering to be jahrun at the same time showing what? Samt. Remembering also that to make that fet and not to make it round mouth, right? When you do fet, opening up and down. Right? And I said lean is only sometimes, so we didn't even deal with it so much because it's not always. That's why it says when counting lean. But the numeric value is 6 no matter what. It's just played that way so that you can understand it somewhere. Does everybody understand me? Am I talking too fast? Okay, erase the board. Hey, Antum.